Farmer Jason here at Wave Fruit Farm. Today we're working on our post systems with our trellis trees. So for those of you that haven't watched all of our videos, we have different sizes of trees. Right now we're in what we call our dwarf trees. These are on like a bud 9 rootstock, and they're going to be less durable trees. And so what we actually have to do is we have wooden posts in here. Every 10 trees we have a wooden post, and then we have wires with conduits. So you can see as I'm walking down past all the trees here, we come to our first big post. And these posts hold up the wire system that includes a wire, and then each tree has a conduit. Sorry, right here, there's a conduit, a metal conduit, and then we have a plastic tie that is holding the tree to the conduit that's holding it to the wire. And so we have to keep these wire systems in good shape, because without it, the trees will fall down. And I'm going to show you that in a second, because we had a catastrophe this fall while the trees were fully loaded. But the first thing we have to do is make sure our end posts are good. And what I found was a few of the end posts weren't in as good as they should have been. And like on this one here, we have a groundhog hole. And so this post isn't doing us any good. It's flippy floppy, and what it's doing is letting that wire system pull. And so you can see the groundhog hole here and that there, and it just wasn't sufficient enough. So what we're doing is we're checking all of our posts, and we have another one over here that for some reason got loose also. And so we're checking each post to make sure they're nice and solid holding that wire. This one over here was not also, and so it actually snapped off in the ground. It broke off. We must have hit it, or too much stress or something. So we're gonna reattach the wire to a new post. And so you guys are gonna get to watch us do that. We're gonna use the machine called the Post Pounder. I'm gonna strap the camera to me so you have a little better view, and we'll show you that as we pound them. All right, so now what we're doing is we're gonna get the wire hooked on to the post. And so this is the wire that runs the whole way down. So we've got to get that in there. Go ahead and slide that on. All right, then what we've got to do is line the post up with the rest of the row. He's gonna hold that for me while I start. This is our post pounder. And so what this machine does is it's gonna pound these posts using this big machine right here, using that arm to pound these down in the ground. All right, Leo, you wanna hold that for a second? And then I'm gonna start this up. All right, so it runs off a motor, and it's all hydraulics. So very wise, I'm wearing ear protection and eye protection. Oh, and sometimes when we're on this much of a hill, it likes to be difficult. And this is the way farming always goes. Make sure that I didn't run out of gasoline. Nope, plenty of gasoline. It's just being contemptible, because it can. Whenever I'm on a little bit of a hill, sometimes it's contemptible and other times it's not. Hard to tell why. All right, mirror. All right, so this is what the machine does. Fidel's driving. And again, became contemptible. And this is part of farming, is you want your machinery to work, and then for some reason it just always misfires. We only have to get 2 or 3 more pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm going for is this to be right at that level. And actually what now is done is I've pounded in and I've got my wire tight. So I think we're actually good. I'm just gonna get it started up, move it out of the way. Because this is how life wants to play along right now. Done. There we go. We're gonna move down to the next post. All right, I'm gonna take 2 seconds and explain this machine to you because I didn't really do that. We just hopped right in because they were ready for me. So it goes behind our tractor and it is a post pounder. And what it does is it did what we just showed you on that last one where it drives that post down into the ground. And so it has a huge hydraulic arm right here with a big hammerhead on it. I have controls. I can make this thing go back and forth. I can make it go back and forth that way, this way, up and down, tilt it, the whole deal. It does have a gas engine on it, and for some reason, every once in a while, as you saw in that last clip, it'll act up like crazy. Then it was funny, we moved it all the way down here and it ran for 3 minutes. So it could just be contemptible. I've had problems with it over the years, but we tried fixing it and didn't want to get fixed. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go down to the next post. That one that I showed you was loose, and we're gonna pound it down in the ground also. So then we're gonna go fix, hopefully before it gets dark here, we're gonna fix a post that broke and some trees fell. All right, so as I said, we put it in place now. I've gotta make sure it's straight up and down. Right now it's not. I need to pull the machine back a little. All right, then we're gonna put on our protection. That's how we pound a post in. So you can see we got it all the way driven down in. And this one's gonna be, that last one was real loose. This one's nice and sturdy. So this one's gonna hold this row of Honeycrisp trees in a lot better than the last post. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook the wire up to it, and this one will be ready to go. All right, so here's what I teased. If you look at this row of trees, I'm standing straight up. They are not. What happened was somehow the staple that was on that post gave loose, and all of the trees went from being on this post to being over there. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put another post here in the middle, and then we'll get the tractor up here tomorrow. And I wanted to do it today, but we're losing daylight fast because it's end of December here. I mean, it's good enough that I'm out here in a sweatshirt this time of year, but we're losing daylight. It's only 4:30, but it's getting dark quickly. So what we're gonna do for today is we're gonna pound another post in. That way we'll be done with the post pounder. And then tomorrow we'll bring up the chain and the tractor, and we'll try straightening this up without breaking too many of the root systems. Some of these trees are gonna die, that's just how it is. But hopefully we can save a good chunk of them and definitely keep it from getting worse. And take it on to the next post. But you can see how important the posts are. Right up there where the post was, it stopped. Right here in the middle is the worst, and then it gets a little better over there. So, part of farming. Just like the machine shutting off on me, it's just part of farming. So, I'm not gonna tape this, since you guys have seen the post pounded several times. We're just gonna get it in the ground, and then we'll revise this video either this afternoon if I get it before it gets dark, or tomorrow we'll pull this up straight. Farmer Jason here. So I didn't really explain to you what we were doing, but I sort of did yesterday. So we came back today and we hooked the chain to this wire and we pulled them all back. One of the things I didn't actually anticipate was the fact that the wire was actually almost going to be too high for the posts. I thought it was going to be the other way around, but obviously when it fell, the wire pushed up on us. And so a lot of what you saw me struggling with was the wire was actually taller than the posts. And being that they want to fall sideways here on me, I wanted to get the clip rather than on top to the side of the post. So we really had to pull and shove, but we got it. The trees are now upright. I don't know, we would have had some root damage in here when they fell. So I don't know if some of these trees will have broke their roots, their main taproot that goes down. And so some of these trees, even though they look okay right now, may not survive. So that'll be the question for next year. This happened to me one other time and all the trees survived. And it was on the same row. For some reason, we've had trouble in this row with this happening. It's very steep. And what happened was when they got all full of apples this summer, there was too much weight and the staples popped and they just came over. And that's why with these smaller bud 9 trees, it's so critically important to have this support system, because without it, you saw what happens. So even though it seems like a lot that we put in all these posts, all this wire, all the conduits, and it's a lot of work, it's better than having all your trees fall over. So that's where we're at. We thank you all for watching. You know, we always enjoy doing these for you, and we look forward to seeing you back here on Wave Fruit Farm very shortly. Thank you.